Well, what is going on, my feminists? I mean star pilots of the internet. It is your boy, D-Wizzle. Thank you, as always, for tuning back into the channel. This is...
I was not ready for that. My feminist. I was not ready for that.
Anyway, thank you, as always, for tuning back into the channel. This is episode 15 of the D-Wizzle podcast. And today, we're getting back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's been a while since we talked about the MCU. So we're back. So we're talking about all the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe leading up to Avengers Endgame coming out April 26th. We've already talked about all the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from Iron Man to Ant-Man and the Wasp. So if you guys want to check that out, check out my channel, because there's too many links in the description I had to put for that. But on my channel, I made a playlist, Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's on my channel. It's a playlist of all the Marvel films that we talked about. I even did separate segments for each movie, because I know certain people were like, oh my god, these podcasts are 3 or 4 hours long, I'm not going to watch the whole thing. Well, guess what? I did separate stuff for each movie. So I did one for Iron Man, Iron Man 2, blah, blah, blah. Whole 9 rounds. So if you want to check them out, check it out on my channel. But today, this is the final stop to Avengers Endgame. We're going to be talking about Captain Marvel. I'm sure there's going to be no controversy with this whatsoever. Joining with me today, I have Crimson Amazon.
Hello.
And I have fellow YouTuber Ruby Grooby.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back.
Yes. So yeah, let's talk about this movie, because we gotta.
Let's just get it on.
Let's just get it on. Let's get it on. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna hit you with this higher, faster, stronger trailer.
Higher, faster, stronger, baby.
Oh yeah, and then we'll hit you with our opinions. Or mixed opinions on Captain Marvel.
Whoosh!
Whoosh!
Whoosh? I guess.
That's the animation sound of it swiping over to the trailer.
Great, I had to make an animation for that.
Yep, there you go. There's your home.
Gosh darn it.
Would you like to know what you really are?
I think I had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute? I'll be back.
Higher, faster, stronger, baby.
Alright. Captain Marvel. Alright, so this movie was released in March of 2019, this year as of this recording. It is the 21st film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's directed by somebody. Wait a minute.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Yeah.
What?
Say it again.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. Okay, I have not heard of those directors at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So, I don't know where to start with this movie, honestly. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Normally, I'm full of with enthusiasm and full of energy, talking about Marvel movies, but I was really apprehensive to talk about this film. Because this movie has just been going through so much controversy, behind the scenes and with the actors and all this stuff, and it's just I didn't want to even get into this, but it's like we talked about all the other films, so it's like we got to talk about this one. It's part of the universe, so we got to. So I guess to give some context, I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel from the comic books. I barely know anything about her.
That is, you're such a savage. Oh my god, you can't.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Savagery.
Like, I'm honest. This is what you guys want from me, to be honest. I'm not just going to say stuff, so people will like me. I'm going to give my honest opinion. And it's just like, I don't know Captain Marvel. And it's like, like I said, I wasn't even that well knowledge in the Avengers universe, up until the movies came out. So of course I don't.
Such a casual.
Don't care. What did you call me? What did you call me?
Oops.
You better watch yourself. Anyway,
check yourself.
Check yourself. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't give a crap about Captain Marvel. Like, I heard that even the comic book line was a failure too. Like, nobody gave a crap about her. So it's like, why am I supposed to care about it? I might have even liked Ant-Man more than Captain Marvel, man. It's like, I don't like Ant-Man as a character.
So full of shit.
I didn't like Ant-Man as a character, but there's some stuff in the storylines and stuff like that make me, appeal to Ant-Man. Captain Marvel? No.
Dwayne.
There's nothing. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know I'm pissing off a lot of people already, but I don't care about the comic books. The closest thing that I know about Captain Marvel is Miss Marvel. Now, I don't know that much about Miss Marvel either. I just watched her on the television shows like Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I love that show, and she was pretty good in that. And there's other versions of Captain Marvel out there, like 5 different versions, which I'm not that well enthralled in. So I'm going into this completely, clean. It's like I'm going in with a fresh experience, like to know who Captain Marvel is. I guess get a full experience. So when I heard Brie Larson was casted as Captain Marvel, I wasn't too excited about that. I mean, yes, I know she's an Oscar winner and stuff like that, and she's been in a couple movies that people liked, I guess, but it's like, I'm just not a huge fan of Brie Larson. She's alright. The last thing I saw her in was Kong Skull Island, and she was fine in that. And she was in Trainwreck, and she was forgettable in that. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really seen much that she's in.
Wait, she was in Trainwreck?
Yeah, she was Amy Schumer's sister in Trainwreck.
No shit, was she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Right. List of things that we forgot about stuff. But yeah, so I was, I guess, okay with it. But what I did notice about Brie Larson is she doesn't have the look of a superhero. She seems a little kind of basic to me. And I know people are about to say, "Oh, is there supposed to be a specific look that women are supposed to be? You're so sexist." Shut up. Stop. Shut up. Seriously, I know I'm about to get a bunch of comments from women empowerment and Tumblr feminists being like, "Oh, you don't like Brie Larson because she don't got muscles or she don't got boobs. Oh, what's wrong with you?" No.
She got boobs.
She got boobs, but that's it.
Let's just make that clear.
Yeah. Yes. Now, yes, I'll be honest. There's a certain standard that women should have when it comes to going into a superhero role, just like men. You gotta put in the work to get in that shape,
That's what Tumblr feminists don't understand, is that, men also have to have a certain look to be a superhero. Now, come on.
Right. It's like, if you're talking about equality, yeah, we're gonna put as, equal standards with women as they do with men. So with women, they need to bulk up or get athletic, because you're going to be in action, in an action movie where you're going to do, you're going to be doing a bunch of running, maybe some stunt fights or stuff like that. She just looked like she didn't, take the time to hit the gym a little bit, get some muscle, get some tone or something like that.
Yeah, she's very skinny.
Very skinny. Like, you guys remember when Wonder Woman, I was like trashing Gal Gadot at the time because she was from Fast and Furious and she looked like a Barbie doll. And I'm like, oh, there's no way she can be Wonder Woman. And then she went to the gym and she got some muscles and she is Wonder Woman. She's great. So yeah, she looked the part. She looked heroic. She looked athletic. She looked powerful. Brie just looks like Brie. Like, come on now. And then there's this whole stuff on, her interviews and stuff like that. I don't know how much of this is true, but I just kept hearing rumors that, she was really difficult to work with and that she's such a strong feminist and, like, try to, like, make the men look not as important. And there's this whole thing with she didn't want just white men going to see these movies and critiquing them, but
of course they're going to critique them because they're the fans.
Yes, they're the majority of the fan base. So what kind of shit is that? So, and then there's this stupid thing that she was doing this like fundraiser for kids in need so they can go see the movie. And I'm like, okay, I get what she was trying to do, but you could contribute that money to something else instead of just, so they can see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so you can promote your own movie.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? And then she's pretending like Captain Marvel is like the most revolutionary thing in the world. Like, this is the first superhero movie that is led by a woman. And I'm like, Wonder Woman came out, right? Like, you're saying, oh, this is going to break new ground, and this is, I can't wait to be a role model for women out there because they don't have anybody. You got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. Like, it's just so frustrating. And even before Wonder Woman, that's not the first female superhero movie. Like, all the other ones before Wonder Woman were horrible, but it's like, that's not the first time they had it. So it's like, come on, can you be a little bit more perspective here? So it's just been really frustrating. So, as far as the marketing is concerned, I didn't like any of the trailers. I didn't like any of them. And keep in mind, I'm really trying to give this a chance because while I'm not a big fan of Brie Larson, wasn't that too excited to see her as Captain Marvel. It's not like I want her to fail. Of course I want her to succeed. I don't want female comic book movies to go back to the Dark Ages. No, of course I want more female superheroes, for girls to look up to. So yes, I want Captain Marvel to succeed. But the marketing was just bad.
The marketing was bad, yeah.
It was so bad. Like, all these trailers, it looked like Brie Larson was just phoning it in. She was just acting like a robot the entire time. And I'm like, here's the argument that people tried to say to me. Oh, but they're probably saving all the good stuff for the movie. And I'm like, isn't the point of a trailer so you can get people to want to see the movie? Why would you put no good scenes of her in the marketing? The marketing. Like, that was the stupidest argument I've ever heard. And then this whole thing of, oh, she lost her memory, so maybe she's not as, doesn't have that much personality then, but she's still trying to figure out who she is. And I'm like, that's still a cop-out, but that's more understandable than, oh, we're just waiting, for the movie, and the movie she's going to be better. Like, no. So, yeah, the marketing did not blow me away. Then there's that tagline, higher, faster, stronger.
Which they only said one time, so I don't understand why that was like the tagline for the whole movie.
Right. Was that something she said in the comic books?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't even use their own tagline in the movie. It's like, come on now. So, yeah, so outside of all that, like I said, I still wanted to give this movie a chance. Because I want it to be good. I want it to be great. Give us a reason why this movie, out of any time, comes right before Endgame. Give me a reason why we need to stop the brakes and watch this movie before Endgame. And since she's going to be a big integral part of Endgame, like, I'm hoping this movie will make me invested in her going forward.
But it didn't.
It didn't. I'm even afraid to just say how I feel about it, but I think people already know. Like, before I even say how I feel about this movie, let me make this clear to all of you people all you feminists, all you SJWs, all you people out there, I don't know how much I have to say this. I don't know how clear I can say this. I love female-led characters. I love them just as much as the males. I love female superheroes. I love male superheroes. I love when they work together. I love female characters. I can give you a list of great characters that just so happen to be female. I can give you some right now. Mulan was great. Sarah Connor from Terminator, she was great. Ripley from the Alien movies, amazing. Pocahontas, freaking Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road. Scar in the MCU, Black Widow, she's a great female character. Gamora, Guardians of the Galaxy, Wonder Woman, even recently, Alita. Regardless of how you feel about Alita, she is a great female character. So yes, I want female-driven superhero movies. I want that. So please keep that in mind before I say how I feel about this movie. I want female-driven superhero movies to succeed. But that being said, Captain Marvel was one of the most underwhelming films I have seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't care about this movie. It was so boring. And I tried really hard to get invested in this film. But it literally just did the bare minimum. And it makes it even worse because we just came off of great films like Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp was a surprise. We came off getting, I thought we were past this. We were past the typical Marvel formula of them just doing the bare minimum. But then Black Panther and Infinity War came out and broke the mold. And that should have set the tone of Marvel movies going forward. But this movie felt like we were going backwards. This is a movie that felt like it came out in the early to late 2000s. Mm-hmm. Why are we diverting backwards? And then you're telling me that this person is going to be integral to the even more big culmination of all these movies, Endgame. I'm so disappointed. I'm sorry. I wanted to like this, but I can't get myself to enjoy this film as much as I want to. But that was my rant, 16-minute rant. But let me get from a woman's perspective. Crimson, how did you feel about Captain Marvel?
Hold up, let me take a sip of my drink.
Yeah, we need a sip of super juice.
Super juice. So we can get through this.
Oh god, I wish that was alcohol. Anyway, this movie sucked.
This is from a woman, by the way.
This is from a woman who has actually read some Captain Marvel comic books.
Right.
She has never been my favorite. Her story is so basic. It hurts me sometimes. When I first saw this movie, I legitimately dozed off for 5 minutes. The only good thing about this movie was the final battle. Like action-wise. I think Brie Larson was better than I expected, but that's not saying much because I set my bar so low for her because she's one of the most boring actresses I've ever seen. I don't really care if I get attacked for saying this. This is not a feminist movie.
It's not.
No. This is not a feminist movie. I don't understand why Tumblr feminists are freaking out about this movie. They're like jizzing in their pants. Like, oh my god, Captain Marvel, she's like such a feminist, blah blah blah. No. Have you seen Wonder Woman? I'm sorry, but Wonder Woman is a much better role model than Captain Marvel. And for people, some people have said to me, to my face, and my name is Crimson Amazon, so if that doesn't tell you how much I love Wonder Woman, then there's something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Some people have said to my face that Captain Marvel is a better character than Wonder Woman.
What?
And they are so wrong.
What?
Captain Marvel is a basic, I was in a situation and I got my powers by accident type of story. It's like, I don't understand, I don't care for her. But back to the movie. I thought one of the best parts of the movie was, again, Sam Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that every movie he's in, he makes it better?
I know. it's crazy, man.
Because and I loved seeing Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was
a
great.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her friend Maria, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thought her friend Maria was great. The little girl was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
I also did like the Skrulls.
Yeah, the Skrulls.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
How, like, this whole time the Kree have... By the way, I did not give them permission to use my name.
The Kree will not suffice for this.
I should be getting royalties.
Mm-hmm. Get some legal rights, get some money.
Hell yeah, man.
Work the paychecks.
Man, I can pay off my student loans. Anyway, so I love how, like, the Kree this whole time have been, like, manipulating their soldiers into thinking that the Skrulls are the bad guys, when in reality it's them who are oppressing everybody around them. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting how she discovered that, and then, it's the typical, oh, I'm gonna change sides now type of story, but I can't really say much about Jude Law. I thought he was boring. I was like, you're so vanilla that it just hurts.
It's like the first role of Jude Law that I didn't care for. That's
Yeah.
really sad. Even in movies that are necessarily bad, he will be a standout of them. But he's not in this movie.
No. He doesn't stand out to me at all. I honestly forgot that he was in the movie. For a second, I forgot that was him, because that was the most underwhelming performance I've ever seen from him. This whole movie was just so underwhelming and so disappointing, because the Captain Marvel comics are actually really cool. And I wish they would have gone more in detail with her backstory, because they just kind of glossed over it. I don't know if I was the only one that felt like they just glossed over everything.
Oh, you definitely not.
Like, with the Tesseract, there's a legitimate reason why it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even realize that, because they just glossed over it. My uncle actually had to explain that to me.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle was the one that got me into Captain Marvel. So, so it's just, like, if I wouldn't have known why the Tesseract was in this movie, I would have been so confused and felt like I did feel like that was a major plot hole, because they didn't explain anything.
Right.
It's just like, oh, yeah, hey, S.H.I.E.L.D. is there. Oh, hey, the Skrulls are there. Oh, hey,
The Kree!
Yeah, the Kree are there, It's just, it felt like it was going way too fast, and I felt like they rushed it because of Endgame. And I feel like if they would have done this movie a few years ago, then they would have taken a little more time with it.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Sarcastic.
I'm agreeing with you, yeah.
Oh.
So, yes, I'm a female that doesn't like Captain Marvel. Come at me.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you're a feminist, you have to realize feminism isn't about women being better than men. Feminism is about us being equal. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that anymore. Mm-hmm. And especially Brie Larson, like you said with her interviews, that's how she came off. That's how she came across. Is that she wanted to be better than all of the men.
Yeah.
But like you said with Black Widow and Scarlet Witch and Gamora, I have never once felt like they were lesser characters because they were female.
Yeah.
I have felt like Marvel has done a very great job of making everyone equal. Even with Wonder Woman, I felt like she was equal to Chris Pine in the movie.
Yeah. The women of Wakanda.
Yes.
Equal to Black Panther.
Yeah. Yes, they are. The Dora Milaje.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah, Shuri and Lupita Nyong'o, they all were great.
Yeah, so for you guys to say that this is the first Marvel movie where women are, like, up front is ridiculous. And I felt like that needed to be addressed. Because so many feminists are going after this movie and saying that it's, like, it's the greatest female superhero movie of our time. You guys need to get a psychiatric examination.
All right. So, after 2 tirades, 1 more. Ruby, What do you think about Captain Marvel?
Don't worry, mine's not really going to be much of a rant. I'm actually going to talk about the movie. And this is coming from somebody who's only seen the movie once, over a month ago. So, I may be completely wrong about all of this, so please correct me. But honestly, I feel like the only parts that this movie really loses self-esteem is trying to talk about the story.
Yeah.
Because it kind of... how do I want to put this? I feel like it kind of struggles itself with trying to decide on whether they want to talk more about the main plot of the story, whether you're talking about, like, the Ben Mendelsohn's character, or whether you're trying to talk about Captain Marvel's backstory. I feel like they were trying to mix those two together so that they're both equally important, so that kind of disjointed the film a little bit, and it kind of made it feel like we're just going from like one storyline to the next without giving us any notification about it.
Yeah, if I could interject for 1 second, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So, Captain Marvel's backstory with her dad and her brothers is actually really interesting. And that's Carol's whole personality. That's her whole personality is, I have to be better. I have to be better. I have to be good enough. And they just glossed over that. So I just wanted to add that. I was really disappointed in that because that is where she gets that type of badass, like, I don't give a shit about men personality. It was because for her whole life, her dad and her brothers kind of like made her take a step back, basically, and tell her that she wasn't good enough. So I felt like they could have dived more into that, but sorry, go ahead.
No, you're all good. For Captain Marvel as a character, for her first outing in the MCU, I feel like this is kind of dating back to when Phase 1 of the MCU introduced superheroes. Like Thor and Captain America, both of their first outings, remember, weren't really the most praised out of all the films. But as they got themselves more familiar with the MCU, as they start to form together as a team, and they had more time on screen, we got to know them a lot more. And that ultimately made them better characters because we got to see them more. Captain Marvel, we only got to see once. Maybe by the time we see Endgame, she may come off as more of a more influential and more understanding character, and makes us try to see why Captain Marvel is set to be this new big face of the MCU after Endgame, apparently. But, yeah, for right now, I think Brie Larson, I was fine with it. I didn't dislike her. I wasn't all that impressed with her, but I thought what I got from her was fine. Again, for a first outing, it's not meant to be perfect. Black Panther was one of our lucky charms. Spider-Man was one of our lucky charms. For their first outings, they actually had good, solid films. Sam Jackson, yeah, he's good in every MCU film.
Yeah.
I don't really need to repeat myself on that.
Right.
Ben Mendelsohn. This is actually one of the first few movies where I will actually praise Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he was good.
Because I did not like him in Rogue One, and I found him underwhelming in Ready Player One. But this one actually gave him a story arc, and he's not this weird, awkward villain.
Right.
That I initially thought that he was going to be. When I saw him communicating with one of his men when we first see him, I'm like, oh my god, Marvel, what are you doing? And then we get to like later in the film, he reveals himself as a hero. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Oh.
That was literally the biggest surprise of the movie, and I was so glad they did that. You called it, Crimson?
Yeah, it was a nice twist.
Yeah, I called it.
Coulson, honestly, I didn't really care about Coulson because I never really got to see him alive since he was basically just a cameo.
Yeah. It was still nice to see him.
Yeah. Jamon Hansu was fine in this movie. Lee Pace was fine in this movie, even though we only got to see him for like 2 minutes for all I remember. And I feel like, again, it's just a first outing, but I feel like Captain Marvel's powers are a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially while they were showing them off at the end of the film.
Yes. And especially when you're pitching to us that this is what Kevin Feige said out of his mouth. She is the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I did not get that impression watching this movie. And maybe it's because she's just starting, but even then I was not wowed by this because I felt like I've seen this before. What she's doing, like her abilities, I feel like I've seen this before. You know?
Yeah. But again, by the time Endgame comes out, maybe it'll tell us more about Captain Marvel, and maybe she may even learn a few more things about herself as she's in that final battle against Thanos or whatever, or however that's going to turn out. I don't know. We have 3 fucking hours to go through that movie.
Yeah.
So, which I cannot wait for, which comes out next week. Oh my god.
Oh my
guys,
gosh.
it comes out next week.
It comes out next week.
What? Where did the time freaking go?
I know.
Anyway, overall, I was a little bit disappointed with the result, but I didn't hate this movie.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't hate this movie. It's not the worst film in the MCU, but it's just more frustrating to Iron Man 3. But anyway, it's not that it's horrible, it's frustrating because it's so okay. And that's what makes it frustrating. This movie came out at the wrong time. That's why this is more frustrating than Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Civil War, stuff like that. Because, like I said, I thought we learned from this, you know? And it's like, we talked about, you talked about the first Avenger and the first Thor film in Phase 1. Yeah, they weren't like the best in the MCU, but they were still good entries, and they made us care about the character's first outing, even if the movie overall is not great. If they get us invested in the character itself, they would have us want to see more, and then it gets better from there.
Yeah, like, honestly, I don't care about Captain Marvel at all.
Right.
Like, if she dies in Endgame, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's really sad, and that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like, bye.
Yeah. It's really sad. I kind of feel that way, too. At this point, I'm like, if she dies, I don't really care that much. And that's honestly like a failure on the writer's, standpoint, because, like...
But she's not going to die in Endgame because she was only shown in one film so far.
Well, I
know. If they're planning on showing her in more films in the future, it's just wanting to point that out.
Yeah, I know. I was just making like I was just saying, like, if she did die, I would be like, oh, that's really sad, but that, bye. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, it's like, because like, even, you know what? Yeah, you better savor this moment. You better take notes, Ruby, because guess what? I'm about to compliment Civil War. Get ready.
Oh my god. Wait, let me get my camera.
Wait, excuse me?
I'm about to compliment Civil War.
Seriously, let me get my camera.
Hey, hold on.
Get ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
No. Hold up. I need to turn up my volume for this shit.
This is a history in the making. I'm about to give a positive to Civil War.
Alright, go ahead, go.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, so, even though I didn't like Civil War, they did a better job making me invested in characters I just met than Captain Marvel. Black Panther was shoehorned into Civil War. Spider-Man was shoehorned into Civil War. Ant-Man, even though he had his first movie, he was shoehorned in there. But even in Ant-Man's first movie, even though I didn't love it, I still really liked Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. And I love T'Challa as I love Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther. I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, even though I didn't like Civil War. They did a better job making me invested in the main characters than Brie Larson. So, that is a failure on the filmmaker's standpoint. If you can't even make me care, it doesn't matter if this is the first outing of, this is the first movie. If you don't make me like the character, it doesn't make me want to see more from this character. I wouldn't care for Captain Marvel 2. I won't even care what she does in Endgame if you don't make me invest in her from the beginning. That's my argument with it.
Wow, I'm sending that to Evan.
Damn.
Yes, the mess Civil War did a better job with character development than Captain Marvel. How sad is that?
Not really a mess, but go on.
I know you love it, but yeah, just from the get go, it's like this movie is just so, it's just so average. Even Brie Larson. Okay, let me talk.
Yeah, it's so basic.
It's so basic, and that's not always a bad thing, but it's just like it doesn't do anything to pique my interest or grab me or be like, oh, what's gonna happen? I was literally checking the clock within 30 minutes. I don't want to do that in a movie, man. I want to be fully invested, but the whole time I was confused about what's going on. But yeah, like, as you know, I don't know that much about Captain Marvel, so going into this, I'm expecting to get more of a picture of who she is, and I still don't. Because as Crimson said, her origin is rushed in this movie, and as Ruby said, it's also trying to put in this whole conflict with the Skrulls and the Kree, and then it's not coherent, and then the movie tries to make us somewhat invested or somewhat understand what's going on with flashbacks of her previous life on Earth before she became a full soldier of the Kree. And it's like,
I keep looking up thinking you're talking to me. I do that all the time. Every time someone mentions the Kree from Marvel, I look up thinking someone's talking to me, but you're not talking to me.
That's funny. But anyway, like, yeah, the flashbacks, I wanted more of that. Because that's like literally the only thing that's giving me a glimpse of who she is. And it's like I said, it's just there and it's gone. It's like Cliff Notes. And the reason why that's a problem, because by the time we get to the ending with her and her best friend, what's her name? Maria. Like, I don't feel any weight with these two, because we don't see anything with these two together. I don't see them growing up. I don't see them going through do pilot training or anything like that. I don't see her going through the struggles of being a woman. Since this movie's trying to be such a women empowerment thing, talk about, how you've been oppressed, being a woman and stuff like that. This is like the 90s, so yeah, they would get more, prejudice. Talk about that stuff. At first I was apprehensive about that. Like, I was being like, oh, they're just gonna shove it down our throats that she's a woman and she's not gonna be, she's gonna be mistreated and stuff like that. But honestly, after watching this, I actually wish they did put more of that stuff, because that's literally the only amount of weight we get from the character. And then we don't even get anything from the best friend or the daughter. Like, nothing. So by the time, like, she just, like, is emotional, being like, I don't know who I am, I'm like, I mean, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah, I know. I'm pissing off so many people. I know. I'm making everyone so angry. Like, I felt it. I felt that in the theater. You can't take that away from me. I mean, I'm glad that you do. I'm glad.
Yep, cool beans.
That's cool. I wish I was with you. I wish I was.
Lane just yawned in my face, and I gagged. His breath smells so bad. My cat's breath just made me throw up in my mouth. That was gross.
That's disgusting. Oh,
Lane.
Time to brush your teeth, fella. Can you brush?
He doesn't let me. Ollie lets me brush his teeth, but Lane does not.
You try those like.
Seth, have you seen my kitten?
Yeah, I saw it on the webcam.
Oh, well, he's the love of my life.
Just walking by. He's a cutie.
There's like those snacks that that helps with their breath.
He eats them, but I feel like I don't know what he gets into. He's just rotten.
He's rotten.
He's rotten. He's a demon.
Or maybe he just ate the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of cats, Goose.
Goose was the best part of the movie, and that's really sad.
Goose was actually a highlight in the movie more than Captain Marvel.
The relationship between
a lot of people did.
Yeah, the relationship between Fury and Goose was like the best part of the movie.
That was great.
It was so sad.
How sad is that? And I was afraid that was going to happen. And everyone kept talking about, oh, the cat was great. Oh, the cat was amazing. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, the cat's still in the show. Oh, my God.
An Academy Award-winning actress. actress.
That's not a good sign. So it's between the goose. It's between Goose and the cat from Pet Cemetery. Lily's like, Lily's gonna come down between them. That's another category I need to do for the Oscars. Best animal actor.
Why don't they do that? I'm not kidding.
They could do that.
They could.
Why not?
Like, at least give credit to the trainers.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. Like, come on now. But yeah, if we talk about Nick Fury, yeah, there's not too much to say about Nick.
Best part of the movie.
He's great. He's awesome. I definitely bought him as a younger Nick Fury. It was really interesting to see him as Nick Fury, and
I loved the de-aging effects.
yeah, it looked great.
Yeah.
From start to
this
finish.
is the best de-aging looks I have ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, like not one time where I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the CGI thing." No, it looks seamless the entire time.
I mean, Sam Jackson doesn't look old to begin with.
Right.
But yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, it's true. Sam
And even
doesn't
at
age.
70 years old, he still looks pretty healthy.
He's 70 years old?
Yes, he is 70 years old.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh.
Look it up.
I'm gonna look it up right now. That's crazy. He's 70 years old?
December 1948.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right.
And he looks just as good as Pulp Fiction.
He does. He looks the same in Star Wars, looked the same in all this stuff. Man, it's crazy.
In Star Wars, he kind of looks like 30s, but
Well, yeah, but still, don't look
yeah,
70.
he looks pretty damn good.
Right. So yeah, he was great. Honestly, like he made Captain Marvel scenes better. Honestly, like whenever they're talking together, like he helps enhance the scene with Captain Marvel. I like the conversations that he has with Carol. So he's great. Like I say, Agent Coulson, it was great to see him again, but he didn't have that much of a role.
I was going to say, even though he was just basically a cameo.
Right.
I still don't understand how he's alive in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't either. I just pretend it didn't happen.
That's what I do,
Gods
and then
can't
Evan
kill
keeps
him.
reminding me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I've said this before. Like the reason I don't like that. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a decent show, but the reason why I just don't like it is because in the first Avengers, him dying was the reason for the Avengers coming together. So that kind of takes away the weight of that if he's just coming back to life. So that was my frustrating thing about that. But it's fine now. It's okay.
It's the afterlife.
Afterlife. Right. Afterlife. One above all.
That made me chuckle a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Even, I'm not talking about you, the Kree.
I still look.
It's not you.
I
the
have
Kree.
never. This is stupid. I have never, ever, ever heard my name in anything except for Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
My name has never been used, so that's like not. Like, I'm not used to it.
Yeah. So is
I
Ronan
still look.
your cousin?
And that's not as bad as my name being used excessively in the Twilight Saga.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, your name's really common
Yeah.
in like books and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, in books.
In books.
Not in the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seth MacFarlane.
Like, I'm reading a book right now where it's a fantasy book and the king in that book is named Seth. And I'm like, that's very common.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane.
Do not compare me to Seth MacFarlane. Please.
No, you're a better version. Anyway.
Aw.
Yeah.
That was sweet, Dwayne.
But, yeah, talking about the Kree,
I still look.
anyway, let's get through it. Anyway, I don't know that. I still don't know that much about them, and I still don't care that much about them. It's like this was their chance because in Guardians of the Galaxy, we still didn't know that much about them, and this is their chance to give more development towards them. And all I know is that, they have a squadron of people wearing green suits and that pilot the galaxy. That doesn't sound familiar
Star
at all.
Force.
Green Lantern. Anyway, but yeah, it's just it just felt so derivative, like, of Green Lantern. It's just, I know nothing. I don't care about these characters. This ragtag team that they were in the beginning, I don't care about them. And even like the pursuer, I forget the actor's name, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy in the beginning. Shoot, the black dude.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, pursuer. Jimon Hansu. I'm sorry, man, because you're in everything nowadays. You're in Aquaman. You're in Shazam. You're in Captain Marvel. Get that money, bro.
Wait, what the fuck? That was Shazam?
Yeah, Lord Shazam.
No.
Yes, that was him. Yeah. How could you not tell? It's literally his voice. It's so recognizable, and he's black.
I couldn't understand a fucking word he was saying except for Shazam.
Anyway, Jimon Hansu's in.
I still haven't seen Shazam yet, so I wouldn't know.
Well,
Go see it. It's so good. It's what
It is
Captain
good.
Marvel should be.
yes.
There, I said it.
Yes, so we're not going to waste any time. Shazam's the better Captain Marvel movie.
Yep.
Eat. Yeah, take that. Take that. Anyway.
That all you Tumblr feminist bitches.
Take that, motherfuckers. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimon Hansu's in this movie, and still don't know that much about him. Still don't care any more than I did in Guardians. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, it just, everything felt so rushed. And with Jude Law, felt rushed. Like, supposed to be the mentor. I thought he was Marvel at first, but apparently he's not. But yeah, being the mentor to Carol and stuff like that, I mean, I guess it was okay at first, but even I felt from the beginning something was off with him. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns. Oh, look, he turns. Oh, what a surprise. Come on now.
He sounds so disappointed.
I'm so disappointed. There's so many disappointing scenes in this movie. So many. Even the action sequences are, I mean, some of them, I mean, it's slick looking. It's slick enough that I'm not like, okay, this is boring. But I'm like, Brie Larson is just, she's phoning it in. She's phoning it in. Even her
She's
action,
a phony baloney.
Even her action set pieces, maybe some of that was her, but I can tell that was a stunt double doing her action sequences.
Yeah.
She was not selling any moves whatsoever. It's like, my main issue with Brie, even though it's a lot, my main issue with Brie is that there is no intensity in her delivery at all.
No, never. Ever. There never is.
No, like we're all choir students, so when you to get a certain amount of intensity out of an actor, you need to speak from your diaphragm. She was not speaking out of her diaphragm. She was talking like this the entire
Yeah, I
time.
couldn't understand her
And
half the time.
Yeah, she couldn't raise her voice at all, even when she's supposed to be angry. She just stays this way the entire time, reserved, barely any emotion. There are times where the script calls for her to be angry, to be pissed off, to yell. She doesn't do that one time in this movie. She didn't feel like a person, even though she's kind of an alien, so it's like, oh, she's not supposed to really feel like a person. Well, if you're going to do ties with the Earth, there needs to be some humanity with her. And there is no humanity with her whatsoever. So, all the action sequences, her being in danger, she was barely in danger in this movie, but the time she was kind of in danger, I felt nothing, because she didn't want to pretend like she was in danger. You're an actor. You're supposed to react to stuff that's not there for us to care. I'm having an aneurysm right now. Going off there, man. I feel so bad. I really do feel bad that I'm just tearing this apart, because I wanted to like her. I wanted her to be a great addition to the Avengers. It breaks my heart that I am so angry at this movie. I want it to be great. But it's doing so much dim-witted stuff, and the story is rushed, and doing stuff for convenience sake, and just, I just don't understand it. Like, the Skrulls in this movie, who I thought were the villains, were the biggest surprise of this movie. I felt more for the Skrulls than Captain Marvel. It should have been a Skrulls movie, for all I care. I was mad that they didn't save the Skrulls for like a Fantastic Four movie or not, but at this point, I'm glad they're in it, because they're some sort of emotion and resonance with the Skrulls that I didn't get from the title character. It's really sad. And yeah, I actually like the actor more than you, Ruby. Ben Mendelsohn. I like him. He is over the top, and he does play the same character in each movie, but he's still likable to watch. It's like what's his name? The Hellboy's dad in the new reboot. Forget his name.
Oh God, him?
Yeah, like he plays the same character in every movie, but he still is charismatic enough that you actually enjoy watching him. So I thought he was good in this movie, but not only was he, he was playing himself at a certain moment, but there was a time where, the stuff with the Skrulls and his family that I actually felt for that, And he was actually a charismatic Skrull. He wasn't a stoic Skrull the entire time and stuff like that. He actually, had some charisma. More than Carol? A Skrull? Okay. Sure. Why not? The best friend has more charisma. Sam has more charisma. Agent Coulson has more charisma. And she... What's going on right now? And then another thing, the score in this movie was really on the nose. Like, I know
it was pretty cheesy.
It's very cheesy.
The score for the fight scenes were questionable. That's the only issue that I had with it.
Like, I know it's a 90s movie, so you're trying to play up, it's a 90s movie. It feels like every 90s movie has to play up the fact that it's in the 90s or 80s. It's kind of frustrating. The blockbuster thing, that was a cute scene. I liked that. That was cool. And then her walking up to the police car and just tapping on the window, that was kind of funny.
The security
guy, yeah. That was good. That was nice. But that was literally that's few and far between with everything else happening. I guess her trying to fit in and wear these clothes and stuff like that and just reacting to technology in the 90s, that was kind of interesting because that's like the only times where she was like pondering at stuff and kind of like, what's going on? What is this? What is that? Like, that was one of the few emotional stuff in the movie where I was like, okay, that's all right. It's all right, but like, yeah, just like the 80s tunes and using the 80s tracks when you're in the fight scene. I'm getting bad memories of Thor Ragnarok, so it's like it just took me out of it. Like the final scene where she's shooting lasers and stuff like that in the ship, and then that I don't know what that song was. What? Like, what is this?
I couldn't even understand what you were saying.
I didn't understand what she was saying, so I'm trying to interpret it the best way I can. That's literally how it felt. You know what it reminded me of? Few times I've been around that jack, don't stop the floor, and ain't been like that, so ain't no how to back, girl.
Ain't no how to back. Oh, okay, we're done already.
Yeah, I'm done.
Hey, I love that song.
Yeah. But
that's my mother's favorite song.
That's great. But does something like that fit in the Captain Marvel movie?
No.
No, it does not. So, yeah, the score was just weird. It's not as jarring as Thor Ragnarok, but it's like it just took me out of fight scenes and stuff like that. Talking about the cat's an alien, and it has tentacles coming out of its mouth and eats people like Men in Black style. That was really jarring.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was hilarious, but it was jarring. It was like, this is some Men in Black stuff, bro. Eating people, and then he eats the Tesseract, and...
Men in Black confirmed for the MCU.
No, stop it! We got Men in Black International. Why is that happening?
Yeah, why is that happening for real?
If Thor and Valkyrie are in the movie, I'm like, oh my god, no. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's weird. So yeah, eats the Tesseract, and that was weird. But you know what? That's the only type of variety and unpredictability that the movie had. So yeah, Marvel, she's all right, I guess.
She wasn't in it enough.
No, and it's like I said, they shouldn't have done this in flashback form. Like, they should have done it in traditional chronological order, because so I can feel, the chemistry between Carol and Marvel, but there's not much. It's just from a hologram that we think is Marvel, but it's not. And then there's this whole... Okay, so apparently, Crimson like helped explain this better because I thought this was.
Do you want me to just explain the Tesseract
the Tesseract
thing?
stuff? Because at first I thought that was a huge plot hole in the movie because how is that even here when in the first Avenger, like it was in the middle of the ocean in the Arctic somewhere on the other side of the world. Like I don't understand. I never understood it. So go ahead and explain.
Okay, so we're all left to assume that the Tesseract is in the bottom of the ocean, correct?
Right.
So when in reality the Tesseract fell off of the plane and it was picked up by S.H.I.E.L.D., okay? Like in the late 40s, early 50s, it was found by S.H.I.E.L.D. and picked up. So S.H.I.E.L.D. has had the Tesseract for this whole time. Okay? So when Marvel came around as Dr. Lawson, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember her name. As Dr. Lawson, and she started, what is it? Is it Pegasus?
I'm going to assume that because I don't know for sure.
When she started her project, S.H.I.E.L.D. gave her the Tesseract to test, different things to make the Lightspeed engine.
Right.
And that is how the Tesseract ended on Lawson's ship because she realized what it actually was. Okay. And she realized that it was an Infinity Stone. Okay.
So I wish that context was in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what was happening.
A lot of people were confused. A lot of people were saying, what the hell? Like, it shouldn't be there, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah,
in reality, I mean, it makes sense that it's there now.
Yeah. Okay, good. But yeah, so Marvel was just fine and not in it enough.
She should have been in it more.
She should have. And isn't she like an integral part of her origin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was disappointing. It's a good-looking movie, I guess. The cinematography is nice.
Pretty.
Yeah, nice effects. Though
you can tell how enthusiastic we are about it.
Yeah, I'm picking straws, man. I'm running out of things to talk about. There was an issue cinematography. Well, there was a little issue cinematography wise that I think there were some parts where the movie was lit a little too dark.
Oh yeah.
Like there were some scenes where I couldn't tell what was happening, especially in the beginning when they're on that dark planet and stuff like that. Like there was just a bunch of lights everywhere and staffs, and I couldn't tell who was hitting who. It was bad memories of Suicide Squad. So
I was gonna say it looked just like a DCEU movie.
Yeah, but at least in Man of Steel and BBS, I could tell what was happening more. So
if you say so.
Yeah, I do say so. I love Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman. I know it has problems, but I like it. But anyway, yeah, it just I couldn't tell what was happening. It was just lit dark, and it looked kind of ugly at times, man. And maybe it is jarring because the other Marvel films are more colorful and vibrant. So in this movie, I guess they were trying something different, but it's just like it didn't always look appealing to watch. Like I said, the movie's slick enough where I'm not like, okay, this is bad CGI, but it's like, I don't know, it just wasn't always there for me visual wise, even though it does look pretty. It's pretty. There you go. It's nice.
I feel pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
Feel pretty.
Feel pretty. You know who's not pretty? Brie Larson. Anyway.
She's pretty.
Okay, yeah, she's
attractive.
I'm fronting. She's a very attractive woman, but need to be more witty. Isn't Miss Marvel witty?
Yeah, she's supposed to be funny. And with whenever Brie Larson was trying to be funny, I was like, ha, that's not funny.
Am I supposed to laugh? Yeah, it's like not even the level of a Rocket Raccoon or Star-Lord, or definitely not Tony Stark.
No, nobody's Tony Stark level, let's be real.
No. I'm sorry, I'm running out of stuff to say. You guys have anything to add? Anything stuck out to you?
I think I've got everything I needed to say.
Yeah.
Oh man, how sad is that? Oh yeah,
Well, it's been an hour. It's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been an hour, so it's like it's a decent amount of time. So it's like I know. So I thought this was going to be like the shortest podcast of the MCU because it's like there's not much to say.
Oh really? I thought you guys took like a half an hour each during like your phase podcasts.
I mean, yes, yeah, that's true. So I guess on that scheme, yeah, it's fine.
If anything, this is probably one of the longer-ish ones.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if we go another 11, actually no, another 40 minutes, we'll beat Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
that's fine.
We don't need to go quite
no,
that long.
I don't want to talk another 45 minutes about this movie. but
Especially when we already have everything.
You're right. So I just want to say real quick about the Jude Law's twist that didn't surprise me at all. And there's this. So when the movie is devoid of humor and life, it now wants to do a stupid punchline at the end. Because in the beginning, when he's training her, he's being like, you know, don't give into your emotions or whatever. And then in this one, it's supposed to come full circle when she's fully encapsulated Captain Marvel, even though they never call her Captain Marvel in the movie at all. And then he's like, this is your moment. Do it. Fight me, fisticuffs. And then she blasts her. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now you're making him look stupid, because of course she's not going to fight you hand to hand. You're a maniac. You dummy.
Well, who cares if he looks stupid?
I do. I love Jude Law. Come on.
I was gonna say, I like Jude Law too.
Yeah.
Well, no, I love Jude Law. It's just like the character. Who cares if that character looks stupid?
I mean, no, I don't care in the grand scheme of things, but it's like, didn't you have great villains like Killmonger and Thanos and Hela and Vulture and Ego? Like, why are we diverting?
Ultron.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nice try, bud.
Yeah, not getting past us with that.
He's a good villain.
No. There are no strings
In my opinion.
on me.
That was the best part of that movie. There are no strings on me. But then when he starts getting a temper tantrum like a teenager, I'm like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yeah, he was intimidating for like 0.2 seconds.
0.2 seconds. No strings on me. But yeah, so I just thought that was dumb, and then sending him to the ship, strapping him to the ship and sending him to the Kree, being like, I'm coming after you. Where did I see that before? Where have I seen that?
Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm coming for you, Thanos.
Yeah. And Transformers 4, I'm coming for you. God. Why is this derivative of so many movies? And it's not even good at it. You can be derivative of some stuff, but make it good. It's not even interesting. And then Ronan comes back, and it's like, oh, I thought we were going to do something with Ronan, make him more of a character, but no. He's just there for fan service. Like, oh, the Kree's there, so Ronan has to be there.
I looked at you again.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I
just gotta get used to it, man.
Right. But yeah, Ronan's just there for pretty much fan service, and it's like, oh yeah, he's the leader of that, and he has to be there. So that was disappointing. And then that silly thing of, when she goes into full power with the mask and blasting all the ships, then there's this gag of, Ronan and that other dude looking at each other, being like, oh no, we can't fight that. We gotta go. We gotta leave. I'm like, oh.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I'll admit that.
Do you know that was Brie Larson's idea?
Really?
Well, of course it was, because it's like a woman asserting her power over a man.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
I was almost liking that until you said that.
That's how I thought about it. I was like, oh,
No,
all right.
yeah, it's her idea. That's great. So, and then apparently her outfit can change colors, and I guess that's cool. I guess, and that's a nice moment with the daughter. So that was nice. I like the daughter a lot. I don't know if this is
a good child actor.
Yeah, she was a really good child actor. I liked her. I don't know if this is part of the comic books, but if she just so happens to turn into a Miss Marvel in the future, I would not be opposed to that. She gets older. Oh, I can't wait. Please do that, Marvel. Please do that. I'd rather watch that than another Brie Larson movie. But yeah, so
because she tries to create the
Lightspeed engine, right. So yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, there's the cat. There's one thing about the cat that pissed me off. Well, a couple things.
Just a couple?
Just a couple? Yeah, just minor things. Just tiny itsy things. So, remember Winter Soldier when they revealed, when Nick Fury revealed his eye is all like messed up and stuff like that? That was an awesome scene in Winter Soldier. Like, you need to keep both eyes open. And there's always been like this legend of how did he lose his eye. We thought it'd be something very important or something really cool. But what is it? The alien
Goddamn cat
claws out his eye. That's it. That's the big legend of Nick Fury's eye. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not a big deal. But in the comic books and other stuff, they made it seem like it's important. And for it to just be Goose clawing out his eye, that was very underwhelming.
Like, let's be real. I don't think that's actually how he lost his eye. I think that they were trying to be funny with that.
I guess, but
like in the comics, I don't think that's how he lost his eye.
So you think his eye is still intact, but it's just really swollen and
Oh,
scarred.
no. In the movie, his eye's gone.
Oh, yeah, you're just
or
talking
else
about...
Coulson wouldn't have given him the glass eyes, but...
Right.
I'm talking about, like, in the comic books, I don't think that's how he lost his eye.
I do not think so. They think they just did that to be funny. And that's just really irritating.
That's my problem with Marvel, is because... Is, like... They always try to be funny, like, oh, yeah, ha, 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 that's gonna get... People are gonna get a kick out of that, but then... The hardcore comic book fans don't think any of that's funny.
Right.
And that's the audience that you're catering to,
Right.
There are a bunch of casuals that are, like, going to see these movies, and they're like, yeah, that's funny, haha, because they don't know what's actually happening.
Right.
Like, my mother-in-law. And my sister-in-law.
Oh, they really liked it?
Yeah. Of course they did.
I'm glad they enjoyed it. I just really wish I wish I could be with them, being like, yeah, this is an awesome film. I can't wait to see what she does in Endgame. This is a really good film, but I can't. I gotta be honest. It's just very underwhelming. So I think that's all I have to say about this movie. So the only thing I want to talk about is the mid and end credit scene. So the mid credit scene, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think this is I don't know if this is actual like scene from Endgame.
Yeah, it is. That the directors.
Oh, I kind of had to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, the directors of Endgame said that the stuff that they've shown, from Endgame, is only the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like, from the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Right.
So, the end credit scene for Captain Marvel is the first 15 minutes of Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what it is that Steve and Black Widow and War Machine and Banner are all at Avengers headquarters. They're trying to decode that message, that whatever the transmitter that Nick had at the end credit scene of Endgame to communicate with Captain Marvel. So they're trying to encode that. They're trying to figure out what it is. And then Brie Larson comes out of nowhere, like Batman style, just appears in the room and is like, "Where's Fury?" And then blackout. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Because, like, regardless of how I feel about Carol, I felt there was a connection with her and Nick Fury. So on that context, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll actually see her pissed off and angry and determined and stuff like that. We'll see that in her face. I don't know. I have high hopes. Because, funny thing, I actually heard that her role in Endgame, that's the first time she's playing Captain Marvel. So she filmed her standalone movie after this. Mm-hmm. So that kind of worried me a little bit. So I'm like, I really hope the Russo brothers did a better direction with you, because if you're just starting to get in the role in Endgame, and then this is your second outing and you're not impressing me, I'm kind of worried.
Oh, yeah, because Endgame was finished filming. Almost, right?
Right. So, yeah, I'm kind of worried now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dwayne!
I'm sorry! But, yeah, so that was...
Dwayne!
I'm sorry! So anyway, the end credit scene is another throwaway. Goose is on Nick Fury's desk, and he's throwing up the Tesseract on the desk.
Yeah, that was stupid.
That was stupid. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but if you're going to put throwaway scenes in the credits, put the throwaway one in the middle and the important one at the end. Now I know people are about to say, but they only doing that so people can go home. Okay, yes, that's true, but you know damn well most people are waiting till all the credits are done.
Yep.
So give them a reason to stay and make them not waste their time, because if they're going to wait that entire time, make sure there's a payoff, you know?
Yeah, like with us, we had to leave like super fast because we had to get the baby, you
Right.
know? So like, we didn't really want to wait until the end, but we didn't know what was gonna happen, and then the scene was like so stupid, we were like, why the fuck did we wait?
Yeah. Or better yet, just do mid-credit scenes and that's it. That's
Yeah, why do you have to do two?
because they're Marvel.
Oh, can I just say, the Stan Lee thing at the beginning made me cry.
The Stan Lee Marvel intro.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Also,
It made me
his
cry.
cameo was just very... It was heart-wrenching at the same time.
It was.
Like, it was heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time. I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
Just the fact that this is gonna be his last cameo in Endgame, like,
It's crazy.
makes me upset. It better be a good one.
Yeah, I hope it's a really good one. I was hoping he would do one more for Far From Home because, you know, Spider-Man, bring everything full circle. But, yeah, if it's Endgame, I hope it's a good one.
Well, it's also his Endgame.
Stop!
Evan said it first.
Stop!
Those were not my words.
Get me off of this panel.
Those were not my words, I promise.
Captain Eagle. Anyway, so yeah, so that's if you just put the throwaways in the middle, or just have a mid-credit scene with the important one, and then leave us alone. That's the one thing DC does right. They only have one mid-credit scene, and then we can go home.
Yeah.
Thank God. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Captain Marvel. I'm sorry if I made a lot of people angry. I know
sure we
there's a
did.
fan base for this movie. I know people love it, and I know there's little girls out there who really enjoy this movie and look up to her, and I don't want to take that away from them at all. So don't get me wrong. If you enjoy it, if you generally like her as a character, fine.
More power to you.
More power to you. But for me, she was just so bland. She's probably the most bland character in the MCU for me. The main people. The main characters that we're supposed to care for, she's my least favorite. And, I mean, yeah, I hope she does better at Endgame, but honestly, I'm not looking forward to her that much. And especially if you're telling me that she's going to be a main integral part, I'm not excited for that at all. I'm for the actual Avengers. I'm for Cap, Iron Man, Black Widow, Rocket, Ant-Man. I'm for them, that I followed with these characters and I actually like them, and I, spent time with them. They're likable. They're interesting characters. I'm following their story because they have the weight. Captain Marvel come around, if she's just going to push her weight with these Avengers that have been carrying the load for 10 plus years, that's going to piss me off. Like, that's really going to piss me off. But, like I said, I am hoping for the best. I want her to do better. But her standalone movie, this is not a movie I want to watch. This is not a movie I'm inclined to watch again. It's not a movie. I don't feel like I want to return to this again. It's like,
I don't even think we're gonna buy it.
no. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I said I was going to get like the entire set for the phases, but I'm like, this one I'm just like, do I really want this in the thing? But it's there, so I'm like, I guess I'm just underwhelmed. The story was all over the place. The action was not that exciting. The music was not that great. What were you gonna say, Ruby?
Look at it this way: if you get Iron Man 3, then there's no way you're not getting Captain Marvel.
That's true, because Captain Marvel is not worse than Iron Man 3. It's not worse than Iron Man 2. It's not.
right there, boy. Stop right in there.
I have to think about it. I have to watch Civil War again. But like I said, Civil War did more interesting stuff than Captain Marvel. So you know what? I think I would rather watch Civil War than Captain Marvel. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God.
Spoilers for my list.
Again.
Spoilers for my list. But yeah, I was just very underwhelmed. How did this movie make $1 billion? Oh yeah, this movie made $1 billion. By the way.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How? Yeah, I don't understand it.
All the Tumblr feminists going to see it.
Numerous times.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ. So, I give Captain Marvel a C-.
You're very nice.
I am nice. I don't feel like I should be, but you know, I'm going to be fair. C-. It's not the worst movie I've seen, but it's in the lower tier of the MCU. And for you to just push your agendas in the middle of the two most emotionally impactful movies in the MCU, that's more of a kick in the groin for me. If this movie came out in Phase 1 or even the beginning of Phase 2, I would like this a little bit more. But even then, it's just Carol Danvers is not doing it for me. Ruby?
I mean, I pretty much got all of my comments out of the way earlier in the podcast, so I'm just going to get right into my rating. I'm probably just going to give it maybe a C+, to be honest. Maybe a 78% in my terms of ratings.
Okay.
Y'all are nice.
I don't know. Alright, let's hear your rating, Crimson Amazon.
Alright, here's the deal. I'm giving it a D.
Jesus Christ. See, I was ranting more than her, and her rating's worse than mine.
I'm giving it a D because I expected so much more. And I agree with D-Wizzle when he says that if you're going to put this movie in between Infinity War and Endgame, you got to bring it. Like, you got to bring it. I, honest to God, don't remember half of this movie. I had to really sit here and think about it before we started to remember what actually happened. It's dull. It's dull. It has no color, no flavor, except when Sam Jackson comes on the screen.
Yep.
So, I'm giving it a D because Captain Marvel's supposed to be this cocky ass. I mean, she's cocky. She's cocky, but she's arrogant cocky. Captain Marvel's supposed to be funny cocky.
Alright.
And I think pushing a feminist agenda is not something that the MCU needs, which I agree with. I agree with all of your points. I just don't think it deserves a C-.
Right.
I think it deserves a D.
Jeez. You know, thinking about this, I actually would rather watch Iron Man 2 than this. I have to think about that for a second.
You know what's funny?
Okay, stop.
I would rather watch Iron Man 3 than this movie.
Really? Really?
Okay, stop. We'll get to the rankings in July.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't even think I have a ranking.
You better start thinking about it now.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's our overall thoughts on Captain Marvel. Glad we got through that. So, if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like. If you're really mad and pissed off, go ahead and leave a dislike.
Leave some comments. I'm very interested to see what people think about this.
Oh yeah, please don't hold back in the comments. Let's hear what you
Yeah,
guys
call
say.
us bad words. You know,
Yes.
it's fine. We don't care.
Right. Yeah,
You
and
can call me a good noodle.
good noodle. You ain't a good noodle because they're like, you gave it a C
I'm
plus.
a bad
C+,
noodle.
C+.
This is a A minus. This is a A plus movie. This is a B plus at the most.
Whoever thinks that this movie is an A+, again, needs a psychiatric evaluation.
This is a great
Well,
one.
like, what?
But yeah, so yeah, do that stuff, and if you want to be updated on future videos I'll be doing, please hit the bell and subscribe. Or if you're just so mad, go ahead and unsubscribe. That's fine.
That's fine, too.
Do how you feel, you know? I just do what I do, and that's being honest, and it's not always what the majority would want to hear. I give my honest thoughts, as always. But you know what? I'm excited for Endgame, because that's the next movie we're going to be talking about. Avengers Endgame. We're going to have a huge spoiler discussion every little detail about that movie. So I'm excited to talk about that.
There's going to be a lot of us in the podcast too, so be ready for
Oh yeah,
it
it's
to
going to
long.
be it's going to be it's going to be an
And
army.
that podcast is going to take twice as long as the damn movie.
As the what?
It's going to take twice as long as the movie.
Oh.
I'll be shocked if this is longer than the actual movie. Jesus Christ. Oh, our Infinity War movie was longer. Our Infinity War review was longer than the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it, believe me.
Our review of Batman v Superman was just around the same time as the Ultimate Cut. So if you want to do commentary with the Ultimate Cut, you just listen to our podcast. That's 3 hours long. But yeah, it's probably going to be like a 3 hour long podcast. We'll try that.
If not 4.
If 4.
So
Yeah, so
you might want to get some snacks.
get some snacks. Make sure you pee. Get some drinks.
Drinks.
Yeah, take a load off. Sit on the couch. Get on the bed because it's going to be an awesome conversation. All right, guys. Thank you as always for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.
We'll see you guys in the Endgame.
In the Endgame. That's right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Get me out of here.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Bye.